The desert winds howled as Layla and her team packed their gear, preparing to leave the ancient sanctuary behind. But they weren't alone. Amunak, the awakened priest, stood tall beside her, his eyes scanning the horizon as if sensing the stirrings of danger in the sands. He warned Layla that the Heart of Anubis could not stay in one place for long. Its power attracted seekers, those who craved control over life and death. The journey from the temple to their next destination was long and treacherous. Along the way, Layla began documenting Amunak's words, recording everything he revealed. His memory was vast, stretching across dynasties and wars. He spoke of kings corrupted by greed, of high priests who betrayed the gods, and of how he had given his life to protect the balance between realms. He was not simply a guardian, he had once been a man of immense wisdom and responsibility, a voice of Maat in a time when chaos threatened the order of Egypt. They arrived in Karnak at dusk. The ruins loomed like silent sentinels, their massive columns casting elongated shadows across the sand. Amunnak led them through the complex with startling familiarity, walking as if he'd never left. They passed the great hypostyle hall, where the ceiling had collapsed centuries ago, and descended through a forgotten tunnel hidden behind a crumbling statue of Sekhmet. The air grew colder as they entered a subterranean chamber. There, they found the walls covered with hieroglyphs older than any Layla had ever studied. These weren't just records, they were warnings, depictions of monstrous figures crossing between worlds, of entire cities swallowed by black sand. In the center of the chamber was a stone pedestal, atop which rested a golden tablet etched with divine script and images of stars aligning. Suddenly, footsteps echoed from above. Layla motioned for silence, and the team doused their lights. A group of armed men descended through the tunnel entrance. At the front was Rafe Alton, a notorious collector of forbidden artifacts. Layla had heard of him through whispers in academic circles. Unlike other archaeologists, Rafe wasn't motivated by curiosity. He hunted power. Rafe Alton, you have something that belongs to me. Amunnak, the Heart of Anubis belongs to no one. It is a burden, not a prize. Rafe Alton, then I'll take the burden off your hands. Weapons were drawn and tension filled the air like static. But before the conflict erupted, the pedestal beneath the golden tablet began to vibrate. The chamber shuddered, and the air grew thick with unseen energy. Without warning, a blinding beam of light burst from the tablet, illuminating the entire room. Everyone shielded their eyes as the light surged, knocking several of Rafe's men to the ground. When it faded, the tablet had split in two, one half falling to Layla's feet, the other skidding across the floor to Rafe, who seized it and retreated with his team. He had what he needed. The map had been divided, and now the race to assemble it had truly begun. Outside, the night had fallen cold and heavy. Layla sat by the fire, half of the tablet in her hands, studying the unfamiliar stars engraved into the surface. Amunnak sat silently beside her, lost in memory. Layla, who created the heart? Amunnak, no one created it. It came into being at the moment the veil between life and death was first crossed. It was forged in the chaos of divine will, tempered by the breath of Anubis himself. He told her of the last time the heart had been threatened. A war had nearly consumed the Nile, led by a secret order that believed death was a lie and resurrection a right. Amunnak had been one of the final defenders, sealing himself in the tomb to protect it, hoping never to awaken again unless the danger returned. Amunnak, and now it has. The next morning, the team moved north, guided by the stars and the remaining half of the map. They crossed the shifting sands for days, their supplies dwindling, their resolve tested. At night, Layla dreamed of doors carved in obsidian, of a desert where shadows moved without light, and of whispers from a place beyond time. Eventually, they reached a hidden oasis, untouched by modern maps, where ruins of a forgotten temple jutted from beneath the sand like bones of a buried giant. Inside, they found inscriptions referencing the Gate of Souls, a fabled passage said to lead directly into the Duat, the Egyptian underworld. The inscriptions matched symbols on the tablet. They were getting closer. But time was against them. Rafe was moving too, guided by his own ambitions and dark connections. Layla suspected he wasn't working alone. There were whispers of a shadow group funding his expeditions, descendants of ancient cults who sought to wield the heart's power to bend life to their will. Back at their camp, Layla confronted Amunak. "Layla, why me? Why did I see you in my dreams? Why was I chosen?" "Amunak, you carry the blood. You are the last of the line." "Layla, what line?" "Amunak, the blood of the Watchers, the ones tasked with guarding the balance. It has been passed in silence, through centuries, waiting for a moment like this." Layla's hands trembled. She had never believed in destiny, but now it surrounded her like a shroud. Her academic curiosity had become something sacred and terrifying. That night, as the fire flickered low, Amunak stood watch beneath the stars. He whispered prayers in a language lost to time. In the distance, eyes watched them, glowing faintly from the shadows. The hunt had begun. To be continued.